Keep it real. I'm gonna tell you why that phrase is absolute bullshit right now. So if you're African American or you're involved in the urban community in any form or fashion, 9 times out of 10, you have heard that phrase being used frivolously for a multitude of different reasons, right? Keep it real. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. You understand me? Whatever. Shit like that, right? And that phrase is absolute bullshit on the simple fact that that terminology in and of itself is ambiguous, right? The definition of real can change depending on who you ask it to, right? You can ask somebody that's been selling dope and taking risks their whole life, right? What is a real person to you, right? A real, you understand me? And he might look at the dude, some of these people, but not everybody. He might look at the dude that's working at McDonald's to, you know, provide for his family. Oh, he ain't being real. He ain't making no real money. You know what I'm saying? How you a man and you ain't making no real money? You know what I'm saying? You not solid, blah, 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 whatever, right? And you could ask that same individual that works at McDonald's, hey, what's your definition of a real person? And do you see that individual that's on the corner selling those drugs? Is he a real person? And that person might look at it and be like, no, that's not real. If he taking all them risks and putting his family in a position to where they might have to take care of him if he gets incarcerated, blah, 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 whatever the situation is, right? And both of these people, right, may be on the same street at a certain point in time, right, have two varying definitions of what real is, right? It can change depending on who you ask it to, right? So I coined the phrase for myself, right? I don't ever want to be real. I want to be true, right? And being true, you could never go wrong, because if you're being true to yourself, your standards, your boundaries, your convictions, your morality, right, you always are going to be being real, right? You cannot be real in a situation to where you're basing how real you are off of someone else or someone else's opinion or someone else's viewpoint of what real actually is, right? So you got to break that down, right? We have to stop doing this and judging people in our, you know, environments or whatever the situation is, just on the simple fact that they're doing something that we wouldn't do, right? Or we're doing something that they wouldn't do, right? You could look at somebody that has a job, right? And that person with a job might say, man, I don't know why that entrepreneur started that business, man, taking all them risks, risking not having no money, putting that stress on his family, blah, 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 whatever. That ain't no real shit. I would never do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to stay with my job. I got a steady paycheck. I know where my money coming from, blah, 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 whatever. And that entrepreneur might say the same thing about the person that's working a job, right? I don't understand how this person is just taking what he's given and not, you know, applying himself to the point of his full potential and being able to really get some money for his family, right? So being true is what I would say you should aim to do and aim to be, right? Because being true, you can never go wrong. Me being true to myself, I have boundaries. I have standards. There are some things I'm just never going to do. I don't give a fuck who's doing it. I don't give a fuck if it's cool. I don't give a fuck if it's popular. I don't care if it's making money. Whatever the fuck it is, there are certain things within me that I have boundaries to say, I'm not doing that, right? And as long as you have that, as long as you have some type of moral compass to be like, hey, this is where I draw this line, right? I don't know what you're doing. I'm not judging you for your journey, whatever the situation is, but I'm not doing that, right? That is when you are officially a real, right? Because if you always judging and basing you being real by somebody else's standards, you always gonna be running around trying to please everybody. It's a losing battle. That's why it has to start and end with you. Right? Because if not, you gonna go around the world basically going around begging people to look at you. Hey, am I real? Am I real? Am I wearing the real nigga stuff? Am I driving a real nigga car? Am I saying real nigga words? You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to differentiate yourself and be able to separate yourself from doing that type of shit. You gotta be a real nigga within yourself. Because if not, all you're doing is walking around trying to satisfy other people. Right? Satisfy yourself, satisfy your goals, satisfy your boundaries, satisfy the things that give you contentment and make you feel confident and happy about your life. If you're taking care of your family, your wife, your children, and you're getting money however you're getting money, right? Whether you selling dope and committing crimes or you doing something in a legal aspect and you making a lot less money, right? If you can sleep at night, right, and you're happy and content with your life the way that it's going, then you a real nigga, right? Plain and simple, you a real nigga. If nobody else can come along and tell you like, hey, you're doing something wrong, if you feel it in your heart like, hey, I'm happy, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I work at McDonald's, I'm making this little check or whatever, fuck, hey, but I ain't hurting nobody, I ain't breaking no laws, I ain't gotta look over my shoulders. You are a real nigga. I'm gonna tell you something though, a lot of the cats we look at as real niggas, right? Those are not real niggas. Those are the niggas that are gonna follow every trend, that are gonna keep up with any and everybody, that are gonna follow people, that are gonna get in line with what the masses are doing just on the simple fact that they wanna feel like they're a part of something. And they don't have an identity of themselves for themselves, right? So don't make that mistake, bruh. You are not going to be able to satisfy everybody. No matter what you do, niggas gonna talk about you, niggas gonna hate on you, somebody gonna be telling you you should've went left when you went right, somebody gonna tell you 4 when it could've been 7, somebody gonna tell you this when it should've been that, right? So make sure you're comfortable and confident with who you are, the decisions that you make, and make sure that you're doing the best thing for you and your family going forward. Fuck being real, be true. This is A Minute with Miles. We focus on positivity, progress, power.